and Pharmaceuticals in association with Higher Secondary Principals Forum.
Namaskar students, welcome back to my second video which is on part number 1 textbook and chapter number 2 the world population distribution density and growth. In this particular chapter you are going to understand the distribution of population in the world, density of population, how it is varying from place to place, growth of population, and at the end, you are going to understand the demographic transition theory. Let us know the important terms and meanings. Chapter number 2, world population distribution density and growth. First one is human population. It is the total number of people in a particular area. Distribution of population, it is spacing or concentration of population in a particular area or region. Density of population, number of people found per unit area. The unit area may be square kilometer or square miles. Growth of population, it is the increase or decrease in population between two given point of time, two time periods. Demography, branch of sociology which studies population statistics. Next is demographic transition theory. The theory that gives the information about the different stages of population change according to birth and death rates. Components of population, three important components of population are birth rates, death rates and migration. Crude birth rate, CBR, which is number of live births per 1000 female population. CDR, crude death rate, number of deaths per 1000 population in a particular area. Migration, the movement of people from one place to another place for various reasons. Next, we'll start the population distribution in the world. The population distribution in the world we have to know because the population is a human resource. Any country, it wants to develop its economy, its social sector, and be a political stability, human resource plays a very important role. Okay? Next, population distribution, it is one of the important characteristics of demographic features, demographic characteristic. The world population can be explained by this one statement, uneven distribution. We see uneven distribution of population in the world. Let us know this. 10% of the land has 90% of the world population. It means 90% of the people are living in only 10% of the land. 10 most populous countries have 60% of world population. It means out of 200 plus countries in the world, 60% of the population is concentrated in only 10 countries. Out of 10 most populous countries in the world, 6 are in Asia. Which are those? China, India, Indonesia, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Japan. Remaining 4 countries are USA, Brazil, Mexico, and Nigeria. So this shows highly unequal distribution of population in the world. Now come to the density of population. Density is a ratio between land and people. Density of population is calculated by a simple formula: population divided by total geographical area. Now world is divided into 3 divisions or 3 belts of high density of population, medium density of population, and low density of population. Let us know high density of population, where the density is 200 persons per square kilometer, which are the regions Northeast USA, Northwest Europe, South and Southeast Asia, and East Asia. Medium density of population is found where the density of population is 11 to 50 persons per square kilometer. It is found in western part of China and South India. It is very interesting to know China and India have almost 35% of the world population, but some of the parts in China and South India have medium density of population, that is 11 to 50 persons per square kilometer. Then other countries include Norway, Sweden, and many European nations. Low density of population is found in North and South poles, cold climate areas, hot climate areas, and the areas of very high rainfall. The geographical factors play a very important role in the distribution of population. Low density of population, less than 1 person per square kilometer. So the density and the distribution of population in the world is highly uneven. Now, let us know by region wise the density of population. Asia, the density of population is 146 persons per square kilometer, and Asia has 59.5% of the world population. Next is Africa. Density is 43 persons per square kilometer, and the world share is 16.9. Europe, 34 is the density, and 9.7 is the world share of population. Latin America means South American countries and Caribbean islands, where we see this West Indies groups of islands. 32 is the density, only 8.5% is the share of world population. North America, 20 percent per square kilometer is the density, and world share is only 4.8. Now Oceania, different island groups in the world, they have only 5% per square kilometer, and the share is only 0.5%. So again we can come to know here the world population distribution is highly uneven. Why it is uneven? Let us see in the next part. Okay? So you can see here, which is the flag of this country, China, India. China has 18.5% of world population. India has 17.9%. Together it comes to 35%. Then next is USA, third position, 4.3. So we can say all 3 countries in the world, USA, China, and India, have almost 40% of world population. So remaining countries are here. Okay? Yeah. In the next map you can see here this red area, the area here, is a high population distribution area. Okay, great. And you can see other colors here. Wherever you see green color, very low distribution of population. So we found from this map and the pie diagram that world population is highly uneven distribution. Why it is happening? It is happening because of some factors. Next part we'll see factors of distribution of population. Why the population is unevenly distributed? Because of these factors. The factors are classified into three types: geographical factors, economic factors, socio-cultural factors. Geographical factors include landforms. The areas of plain topography have more concentration of population than the plateau region and the mountainous region. Availability of water. The people are concentrating where throughout the year the availability of water is there for agricultural activity and drinking purpose. Climate. Too harsh climate, too hot, too cold, heavy rainfall, they have less distribution of population. Whereas moderate temperature, moderate rainfall, favorable climatic conditions have high concentration. Like that also soils, fertile soils, like alluvial soils. Example is India, North Indian plain. 60% of India's population is in North Indian plain. Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, parts of West Bengal, Punjab. Yeah. Economic factors, the deposits of minerals. It is helping for mining activity. So mining activity based people, they concentrate in that particular area. Example is in Bihar and Jharkhand. Urbanization. Urbanization is the process of concentrating population in cities, urban areas. So economic activity like industries and urbanization, they go hand in hand. So today we find more concentration of population in urban areas and industrial areas because both are supportive. Social factors like religious groups, religious of same, religious towns, historical towns, they have high concentration of population. Cultural towns, cultural activities, we see large concentration of population. For example, the Prayagraj in India. Political factors like stability. Political stability, the concentration is more. If the area has, political unrest, people are low distributed. Population is low distributed. Okay, so you understood the factors which are responsible for the concentration of population. Next, population growth. It is a change in population number from one point of time to another point of time. For example, the population in 2010 and 2020 in India. Time period may vary. It may be 5 years, it may be 10 years, it may be 2 years also. Okay? So from one point to another point, whether population increase or decrease. And it is one of the indicators of economic, social, cultural and historical developments. Next is growth of population. The growth of population can be positive if there is an increase, can be negative if there is a decrease of population between two given periods of time. Next, population growth rate, which is expressed in percentage figures, simple percentage figures. Okay, 10% growth, 5% growth, 2% growth, 0% growth. Okay, also can be possible. Now, growth of population, as I mentioned, can be positive and negative. This part I have covered. Now, next is very important, the population component. change of population is possible with three components: birth rates, that I have mentioned in the earlier part, what it is, death rates, and migration. Today, migration plays very important role than birth and death rates. Now, birth rate, it is number of live births per thousand population. Sometimes it is taken female population also. CBR, crude birth rate, number of births divided by mid-year population of that area multiplied by 1000. It is also called fertility rate. Death rates, number of deaths per thousand population, it is CDR, crude death rate, number of deaths divided by population, particularly mid-year population in that area multiplied by 1000. This is called mortality rate. So students know the difference between fertility rates and mortality rates. Then birth and death rates, they have impact on socio-economic development. They show the improvement in the quality of life, human resource and others. Now migration. I told you migration is a very important factor of population change. Okay? It is a movement of people from one place to another place for various reasons. The movement can be temporary movement, permanent movement, or it can be seasonal movement, change in residency. So migration, it has some important features. The first one is place of origin. It is the starting point of migration, and place of destination, the end point of the migration from one village to another village. For example, in Karnataka, okay, from place A, the people migrate to place B. A is the origin and B is a place of destination. Next, we have process of migration, immigration and emigration. Immigration is coming inside. It is called in-migration, where the population increases of that particular place. Emigration, going out. It is also called out-migration, and here the population is a negative growth and here it is a positive growth. Streams of migration, four important streams: rural to rural, migration from village to another village, rural to urban, migration from village to urban, urban means city, urban to urban, city to city migration, urban to rural migration, from city to rural migration. Then there are two important factors of migration: push factors and pull factors. Push factors, they encourage or they are responsible for the person to move out of that area. For example, unemployment. If there is a flood, if there is a political unrest, if there is some violence, anti-social problems, then the people will migrate from that area to another area. It can be pull factor. It attracts the population. For example, employment, higher salaries, better education facility, better medical facility, both play a very important role in process of migration. Now, trends in population growth in the world. So before that, we should know the doubling time period of the world population in different regions and in a particular world. Here, doubling time means how many years that geographical region takes to double its population. For example, today the population of X place is 1 crore. After how many years it becomes 2 crore? It is like that. So we have to see the world trend in population growth along with the doubling time. Here we have 3 columns. the first column is periods, different time periods. Second column is showing world population, and third column is showing doubling time in number of years. Let us start from the beginning, 10,000 BC. 10,000 BC, the world population was 5 million only. 1650 AD, the population increased to 500 million. It took 1,500 years to double the population. Very large number of years it took. 1804, see the difference of years here and here. 1804, the population increased to 1,000 million. And the number of years, 154 years. See the difference here? See the difference of years. 1927, again see the number of years less. 2,000 million, it took only 123 years to double the population. 1974, see the year here difference, and 4,000 million it became from 2,000 to 4,000. How many years it took? Only 47 years. Now by 2025, 8,000 million, of course it is a projected figure because 2025 means another 4 years or 5 years. How many years it is taking? Only 51 years. From 4,000 million to 8,000 million. So from this table, students, you can understand the growth of population in the world. High growth of population is experienced. Next, we have the change of population according to the land, geographical area. In the world, 2 countries can be grouped as high growth rate of population and low growth rate of population. High growth rate of population is found in developing countries and underdeveloped countries like Libya, Somalia, Yemen, Saudi Arabia and Oman. So India also has high growth rate of population. Low growth rate of population, where developed countries, economically developed countries have low growth rate of population. Developed countries like Latvia, Estonia, Russia, Ukraine, Germany, Spain, Italy, and many other parts of European nations. You know, students, in these countries, they take 200 years to double their population. Now, for example, India, high growth rate. How many years it takes to double the population? According to the latest information, 36 years. Very less number of years it takes to double the population. Now, growth rate of population in the world, we have a table here to understand. Again, 3 columns here. Region, growth rate of population in percentage, and growth rate of population in percentage between 1990 to 95 and 20 to 15. World, growth rate is 1.6, but it is declined here, 1.2. Africa has high growth rate of population, and here also it is high. Europe, 0.2% and 0.1. You can see a decrease in the world growth rate of population here in Europe. North America, 1.4, 0.8. Decline in the growth rate of population in North America, Canada and America. Latin America, 1.7 and 1.1 in 2010-15, declining. Asia, 1.6 and 1. Decline is showing here. Oceania, 1.5 and 1.5. It remains same. So, the growth rate of population, we can say in Africa is very high. In 2015 also it is high. Okay? And Asian countries also, they have high growth rate of population. Okay? So, you understood the growth rate of population. Now, impact of population change. Here, what is going to happen? If the growth rate of population, say it is moderate, absolutely no much changes, no pressure on the resources. But if there is a rapid growth rate of population, it will lead to the depletion of resources. Water becomes less. Forest resource is depleting. The area under forest will be declined. Soil fertility declines because you have to cultivate long time and continuously the soil. Then minerals are exhausted very fast. There is also possibility of spread of epidemics like HIV and AIDS influenced by the average life expectancy, means the people average life becomes less. You know, in India, what is the average life expectancy? 65 years only. But in Europe, the average life expectancy is above 80%. So this is so most affected countries are Asian and African countries because of the high increase in the population. Next, the science and technology. How it is going to help the population growth. When there is an improvement in science and technology, the medical facility, the death rate becomes less. So there is population explosion. This is seen in a theory called demographic transition theory. Students, from the examination point of view, it is a very, very important part, which is based on birth rates and death rates. It is also called demographic cycle, and it is also showing the collective changes of the population. It also tells how the rural agrarian means agriculture, from rural agrarian to urban industrial, how the society transforms. Agricultural society means more dependence on primary activities and less economic development. Urban industrial means more dependency on manufacturing and more economic development. When we speak in terms of economy. Okay? So in the next part, we will understand the demographic transition theory. Okay, students, next we'll see the important features of demographic transition theory, a theory which tells about different stages of population change. We have 3 stages here: stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. How many years each country or each geographical region takes of stage is different. Some countries may take 100 years, some country may take 55 years, and some may take even 200 years. So the number of ages are not fixed here. In stage 1, but before that I will explain the different columns here: stage, birth rates, death rates, and the important features. In stage 1, the birth rates and death rates are very high. If the birth rate is 35 per thousand, death rate is 32 per thousand. It means only the difference of 3. So the population is what? Steady increase. No much increase. Why? There are problems like spread of epidemics and pandemics. Epidemics, the pandemics are more during that time, and there is also the variable food. People don't get enough food, regular food for their survival. As a result of this, slow population growth rate. Population will not grow. Birth rates and death rates are very high. And it is an agricultural society. 90% of the people are depending on agriculture, directly or indirectly. Agricultural society. You know agriculture, which depends on rainfall. If the rain comes, there is agriculture, otherwise no. So, in this stage, there is low life expectancy. People will survive very less number of years, 45 years, 50 years, 55 years, 60 years maximum. And lower technology, the science and technology is not developed. Science and technology is not developed, there is no medical improvement. People die for very common diseases. No healthcare facilities, no hospitals. Why? The society is like that. And more problem is from illiteracy. Most of the people are illiterate. As a result of this, people don't understand the health awareness. People don't understand about the improvement in science and technology, improvement in agriculture. This is the major problem. Today, countries like Bangladesh and the tribal areas in rainforest are in first stage. In second stage, there is improvement. High birth rate, but birth rate starts declining. Death rate decline. If the birth rates are 25, death rates are 10, 15 difference. And this is the time of population explosion. Why it is happening? Why the death rates are declining? Because improvement in the sanitation and health care facilities. Medicines are available. Health care facilities are available. People are also educated. They start taking the health care measures. And death rates decline, birth rates increase, population explosion takes place. High birth rate of population and high growth rate of population. It is mentioned here, high population growth. Today, countries like Peru, Sri Lanka and Kenya have this stage. The number of years, it varies from country to country. Third stage, decline in birth rates, decline in death rates. If the death rate is 10, birth rate is 12, only the difference of 2. So, there is a zero population growth rate or equal population growth rate. Why? Improvement in medical and science and technology, awareness of the people. There is stable or slow growth rate of population. Stable growth rate is very important. It is also called constant growth rate or zero population growth rate. Birth rate is 10, death rate is also 10. What happens? It is not creating pressure on the existing natural resources. And what about the society? The society from agriculture, it becomes urbanized. People get jobs. If the people get employment, they get throughout the year regular food. They will become literate population. Technology is improved and control on spread of pandemics and epidemics. And also people become aware about the small size family and they will go for population control measures. A developed society. Today, most of the European nations are in this stage. All developed countries, they are in this stage. So we have a graph here which shows the different stages. Whatever I have explained, now you can see in the form of graph here. This graph is there on the textbook. You can go through this. Now you can see here stage number 1. high birth rates and death rates. Stage number 2, decline in the death rates, and initially birth rates are high, but here there is a lot of gap. This is the gap of population explosion. Stage 2. Stage 1, this one. Stage 2 is expanding population, increasing population. Then stage 3, here you can see, again birth and death rates have become equal. As a result, low fluctuation of population, a developed society, which are there, Canada, Japan, USA. All developed countries are in this stage. Now, let us say something about India. Where is India? India is in this stage. So we have to go here in the third stage. We have to control the population. Then the India has all possibilities of becoming economically strong. How many years it will take? It takes, say, years are not fixed. But if we take population control measures, then definitely we are going in this stage, and we can see the economic development, social development, literacy, the high life expectancy. Now India's life expectancy is 65 years. It should become 80 years, like in European countries. In European countries, 80 means old age. In India, 60 means old age. Okay? So next, we'll see some of the important aspects of population control measures. Population control is very, very important in India. So population control measures, I have a question here. Why to control rapid growth of population? India has a rapid growth of population. We have to control. Why? To stop depletion of resources. You know, 40% of India don't get enough drinking water. Water shortage. Shortage of soils. People are there, unemployment, but no land to cultivate. Forest resource is becoming day by day less. Noise pollution, air pollution. So these are the problems. Next, to reduce the risk of spreading epidemics and pandemics. This is very important. Now, you heard about pandemic, corona. Why it happens? It is happening where the large population size, countries with high population growth rate, it is uncontrollable in these regions, in these countries. Small population size countries, they have already controlled. This is the problem. See how it is relevant. Next is sustainable development. The development without harming the nature, eco-friendly development, and the development that we take, it will sustain for long years. To have that, we have to control the population. Okay? Now, the important measures of controlling population. From examination point of view, this is very, very important. The first important measure is family planning, maintaining the small size of family, and also keeping the time gap between two births. Okay? The country should go for one child policy. I hope most of you agree with me. Free availability of contraceptives and other birth control measures. Taxes for having more than 2 children, it is required. Provide population education, sex education, so that the people come to know about the importance of small size family and also the explosion of population problems. Providing population education is must, and geography is one of the subjects which provide you population education. So, the students of geography, you are really helping to understand our society, Indian society and problems. Government incentives and policies for families planning. Many countries where there is a rapid growth of population, they have done this, government's incentives and policies for family planning. So India also requires a strong population family planning policy. I hope you agree with me, students. Yes, students, this is the content of the chapter number 2, the world population density, distribution and growth. I hope you understood, but at the end, like last time, I would like to give you some of the important questions. After going through this video, you should be able to answer these questions. What is density of population? Answers, please you find out from the textbook and from my video. Explain the features of population distribution in the world. Third, explain geographical factors controlling distribution of population. Geographical factors, economic factors are there. It can be asked economic factors, social factors also. Similar questions. How industrialization influence the distribution of population? I hope you can answer this question. Which are the components of population change? 3 components are there. Find out. I am not giving you the answer, students. The distinguish between immigration and emigration, a simple question, 1 point definition, 1 mark question can be asked here. Distinguish between pull and push factors, very easy to answer this. Explain the variation in growth of population that I have given the table, you refer the table and answer, prepare the answer for this. Next, explain the variation in doubling time of population in the world, how many years it takes right from the beginning. That table you can use. Distinguish between birth and death rates, very, very simple, answers are there. What does demographic transition theory explain? 1 mark question. Explain the demographic transition theory, 3 or 4 mark question. You have to explain with the help of that graph. If possible, draw the graph also. How does science and technology development influence population growth? The role played by medical health, science and the technology. Explain different measures of controlling the population. Measures of population controlling. Give reason for the need of population control measures here, this one. And the last question, what is difference between place of origin and place of destination? It is with reference to migration. Okay, students, thank you very much for watching my video and I wish you happy learning. So watch more videos and learn. All the best. Happy learning. Thank you very much.
Prudent Scholars, powered by Lupin Pharmaceuticals.